Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be taking a quick peek at the We Are Vana'diel site for Final Fantasy XI. This website was released in anticipation of the celebration of 20 years of service for Final Fantasy XI, releasing way back in May of 2002 on the PlayStation 2. It's going to be coming to a head in May of 2022. Now, while they just celebrated the 19th anniversary less than 2 months ago, they said they wanted to do some big stuff for the 20th anniversary, and thus the site is the beginning of that celebration. Alongside the Voracious Resurgence, a new storyline quest that has been updating over the past year or so. Now, as for what's actually on the We Are Vana'diel site, currently it just has a few messages. We discuss Vana'diel, a message from the producer, as well as some memories of the game's development, stuff from behind the scenes, and stuff that even covers all the way up to the most recent updates for Final Fantasy XI, as well as a bunch of artwork currently that just has the mono artwork, but it has a bunch of coming soon options down at the bottom. Let's take a quick peek at some of the things that are said. First, we have the message from the current producer, Akihiko Matsui, also known as Matsui P. Those of us in Final Fantasy XIV know Yoshi P, they got Matsui P. Now here they talk about on May 16th, we celebrated the 19th anniversary, and now that they've reached that, they are highly anticipating the 20th one. Various memories have amassed over the course of nearly 20 years, and they want to continually update the website with engaging features that the adventurers can partake in. They want to retell the history and serve as a beacon of inspiration for new or returning players. They also, of course, call out they enlisted the help of Michael Christopher Koji Fox, whom longtime adventurers may recognize from the early days of Final Fantasy XI's localization. We, of course, more recently know him for all the localization that he does for Final Fantasy XIV, but he has been with Square Enix a very, very long time. We Are Vana'diel website consists of 3 major components. We Remember Vana'diel, which is a chronological timeline of 11 from the beta test until the present day. We Discuss Vana'diel, which is special guests that talk about things that pique the interest of the adventures of the guests themselves. And then we Illustrate Vana'diel, which is official artwork and illustrations. They're actually going to be including several different categories that will be revealed over time. Maybe some rare pieces that have never been displayed before. In addition to these 3 major components, we will be updating the website periodically with other content that may pique your interest. So you may want to have come take a look at that over time. Development operations team will be putting their utmost effort into spreading the festivities around this website and in-game as they approach the 20th anniversary. To those who have adventured with us in the past, we hope you enjoy the website and perhaps consider adventuring with us one more time, as various in-game activities can still be enjoyed solo or with small groups. Those of you who are actively adventuring, we'd love to hear your stories from over the years and hope you will continue to, or will hope you will join us in adding more to the site. Thank you for your continued support and encouragement with Final Fantasy XI. I gotta admit, this kind of site where it's just an image and it's like some plain text, very Final Fantasy XI. That is exactly the kind of site I would expect, and I probably should have blown up the font a little bit, but you can read it for yourself. There's a link in the description anyway. So going back to the page before, although I think I can actually go through there. Now, I actually didn't click on the We Discuss Vana'diel section before recording this video, but for this first one, you have Hiramochi Tanaka, who many people should recognize as well, the original producer who, in case you didn't know this, was also the original producer for Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. Yeah, a lot of us who are around definitely remember Tanaka, that is for certain. Previously affiliated as a game producer and one of the founding creators of the Final Fantasy series, he stayed with Final Fantasy XI from the beginning of development until 2012. He is currently a member of the corporate office at Gung Ho Online Entertainment. So this is just going over, and I highly recommend reading this for yourself, going over his history with Final Fantasy and his place within the company. He talks a little bit about EverQuest in here, and Sakaguchi and some of their histories together, first experience with MMOs. He said he was curious about Ultima Online, but never actually played it. But he's got a bunch of little tidbits in here, and it is a long read, this interview. So we're not going to go too in-depth into it, but there's going to be more of these in the future. So any of the major figures from Final Fantasy XI's past, you're going to be getting some insight into things they have to say about the game. And a lot of this does seem to be talking about how they were involved in Final Fantasy XI's development, how they came to get involved with the Final Fantasy series, again, MMOs altogether, some of the other projects that they've worked on in the past, and all sorts of things along those lines. So definitely, again, take a look. The second part of this interview will be released on July 14th, so a week from the day I'm actually recording this video. So this isn't even finished yet. I kind of want to take a look at it again after it's all the way developed and see if we can talk about it. But man, seeing Tanaka, it's been a while, to say the least. It's been a while. Now, this I think is actually also pretty interesting. We remember Vana'diel. This is, again, a chronological timeline of Final Fantasy XI's development. So some of these things are just events like Final Fantasy XI being announced at the Square Millennium event in 2000, the PlayStation 2's official launch, Final Fantasy X having an 11 trailer, the closed beta test, and then some. This is the thing I actually want to go through and read all the years, behind-the-scene commentaries. As the battle director at the time, that was Matsui P saying that, I felt that it was too early for the beta test since the skill chain system had been just decided for implementation, and weapon skills hadn't even been implemented yet. Start of the beta test also meant bug fixes for the beta server, which is more workload for the main development. However, the whole team was able to unify their vision, and the beta test also served as motivation for us to work quickly. I think it was a good thing overall. Since then, more people came to me for battle balancing related matters, and I switched to working the night shift for a while to make progress on my own tasks, so it was a very valuable experience for me. You can also retweet these kind of quotes in case you're interested in any of them, but this goes all the way up to literally the most recent patch. There's actually a drop down that doesn't show in my window capture for some reason that shows the most recent events. January 12th, the Sheol Jail content was added to Odyssey, which allows you to change your job in between the various battles and disallowing duplicate jobs among party members, so you can't just stack everyone's favorite job. And then, of course, it has the updates of Voracious Resurgence. I kind of want to let's just click a random year. Let's click 2010 and see if there's any behind-the-scenes stuff here. Vana'fest 2010, Trial of the Magians, Visions of Abyssi, Scars of Abyssi, all the level cap increases, which was a very, very contentious time in Final Fantasy XI's history. Let's try 2006 then. I want more behind-the-scenes stuff. I actually was playing a lot during 700-player Besiege. You mean all of them? We were always fighting for spots in Besiege. Chocobo Raising, I remember when that came out. Hot and Cold Salvage. Was Salvage duping gonna have news? The Absolute Virtue hint video. Why would you put that on here? That's not something to be proud of. Oh my goodness. That's a whole story in and of itself. I have a video on that. So if you want to know more, please see that video. I'd rather not talk about it in my own time. Come on, I want some behind the scenes commentary. You can't put one thing of behind the scenes commentary on all these pages, expect me to get excited about it. I want to know more secrets. What, do they have one and they just decided? Yeah, okay. Maybe they'll add more. They did say they'd be adding to the site as time went on. Was that Utsusemi? Did I see Utsu? Yep. The Utsusemi Revolution. Oh, man. This was when Tank Ninja was really born. Utsusemi Ni was changed from 8 seconds to 1.5 seconds for the cast time, which allowed people to become tanks. Yep. I do indeed remember that. I was around for, like, all of these things, so... oh man, that's, oh. Well, actually, no, I couldn't have been around for when that changed, because I don't even know if it was out in the States yet, was it? Oh, you know what, yeah, I think I was playing it at a friend's house. I didn't actually own it at this point, yeah, because I didn't start playing until I want to say June of 2004, because I got it, like, late 2003, but I didn't have a network connection to play it. But then I realized that you could use dial-up in, like, the middle of the summer, and that's when I ended up hooking up. Yeah, so I remember I started playing in, like, June. Probably around the time this was actually added, in all honesty. But yeah, so this, again, there's a bunch of history stuff here. Really, really significant things. If you've ever wanted to learn more about Final Fantasy XI's history, this is by far the most comprehensive thing for major events that you will probably come to understand. And then we actually have the art gallery. Again, it just has Amano's artwork from the various expansions thus far, but of course, any longtime Final Fantasy fan is going to like looking at some of the Amano artwork. Rise of Xylar, Chains of Promethea, Treasures of Otter Gone, Wings of the Goddess, Seekers of Adulin, the special box arts from 2002, and of course the We Are Vana'diel artwork that they are using for this entire campaign, which was also done by Yoshitaka Amano. So, with that, that covers everything that's on the site for now. If anything of major import pops up on the site, you'll probably see a follow-up video. And if anything is happening in the game and I can cover it, then if I can cover it within reason, I will try to do so as well. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, share, and stay tuned. If there's anything, like I said, if there's anything else with 11, I'll make sure to post it. But until then, take care.